Hello, I'm Ralph from Tidal, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down how we managed to acquire 10,000 window cleaning customers in under 3 years. These customers are from all of our locations, all the way from the Highlands in Scotland down to the south coast of England, and these principles and these metrics that we've used have worked across every single one. The metrics and the things we track remain the same, although the strategy varies slightly throughout. Now, I see it all the time on the window cleaning forums or on the Facebook groups, people asking, the best way to get customers, what provides the best customer. Some people say leaflets, some people say Facebook, some people say Google. Others go out canvassing because obviously you can speak to the customer directly. To be completely honest, there's no one system fits all. We found what works best is a combination of using a digital online strategy and then in addition to that, using local, more targeted advertising. So when we launch a new location, we'll allocate a specific budget for obviously customer acquisition, and then we also rely on our window cleaners and our franchisees to do their own marketing as well. Now, over the last few years with how competitive digital marketing's got, people see thousands and thousands of adverts every single day, and in order to get recognised, people are now seeing that numbers increase from 7 sites to 40 to 50. So the best approach is to try and hit customers from every different angle to get your business seen as much as possible. And then obviously throughout that full process as well, you've obviously got to track metrics to make sure what you're doing is working and to make sure it's producing a positive ROI as well. Now, there's several key metrics we track across all of our locations in order to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck with our advertising. And the majority of the video is going to be explaining those metrics, how to use them, and how you can possibly implement them into what you're doing as well. The metrics that we track across all of our locations are CAC, LTV, churn, average order value, and the months it takes profitable after buying that specific customer. So the first metric, and possibly the most important metric, is customer acquisition cost. Now, this is the cost it costs you to acquire a customer. So to give you an example on customer acquisition cost and how it works, typically we'll advertise across Facebook, Google, TikTok, and other kind of online platforms. Now, we've spent just over £350,000 on Facebook ads, so we've tried, we've tested, and we've kind of figured out what works. That being said, Facebook always changes their algorithm, ad creatives get worn out, and it's a constant process of testing, refining, and kind of dialing your customer message as well. But to give you an example on Facebook, it might cost you £10 per lead, and you might convert 50% of those leads into paying customers, which means that you need to buy 2 leads, and that'll convert into 1 customer, which will give you a customer acquisition cost of £20. On the other hand, you might also be using leaflet distribution to run alongside that. Now, 1,000 leaflets might cost you £20. You might go out and you might deliver those leaflets over the course of a couple of days, and from those leaflets, if you're lucky, you might get 2 customers. £20 for 1,000 leaflets. If that gets 2 customers, then obviously your customer acquisition cost is £10. If you're to get 3 customers, then obviously your customer acquisition cost is going to be cheaper. But while you are distributing leaflets, it's also worth bearing in mind that obviously you are going to be out trading your time for money, and that's time when you could be doing other valuable things within the business. If you were to pay a team of leaflet distributors, say to pay them £60 for delivering 1,000 leaflets, and the leaflets were to cost you £20, and that was to get 2 customers, that's a total cost of £80. You get 2 customers, and then that's costing you £40 per customer acquisition. Now, it's really important to track customer acquisition. Obviously, most people only have small window cleaning businesses. You don't have tens of thousands of pounds to throw at marketing, and you really have to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck possible. So if you've got a budget of £100 and you know that can get you 5 Facebook customers, or it might be able to get you 3 customers using like leaflet distribution, then obviously you'd rather have the 5 customers. Now, there is another piece to this as well, which brings me on quite nicely to LTV, which stands for lifetime value. And this is the amount of money that the customer is going to pay you over their full lifetime. We're quite fortunate with window cleaning that most of our customers are on kind of 4 or 8 weekly cycles, and we can also, upsell them with additional services such as like fascia cleans, soffits, gutters, conservatories, etc. So just to give you another very basic example, if you get a customer, they might spend £20 a month and they might be with you for a full 12 months, which will give you an LTV of £240. Now, if you've got that customer from Facebook and you've only paid £20 for that customer, and then over the next 12 months you're going to be getting £240, obviously that's a really good return on the investment. What we have also found is that LTV varies across the method that the customer comes on. Now with Facebook, you might be getting a lower LTV because the customer, it's easy come, easy go. There's not really a barrier for them coming on board. Whereas if you were to acquire them through like a leaflet distribution, the customer's got to physically like pick the leaflet up, see the number, read the leaflet, ring you, possibly wait, sit on the phone, get a call, set a payment, and that might give you a high quality customer in the long run. And that customer might be with you 2 years, so 24 months, and that customer might pay on average £20 a month, which will give you an LTV of £480. Obviously, it's a balance of how much do you want to spend on customers. The higher quality the customer, they're possibly going to be with you longer, but it's going to cost you more money to acquire them. And the cheaper customers, it's more of like an easy come, easy go. And then obviously you can also put terms and conditions in your service as well. So it's like minimum of 3 cleans, or you charge like an additional fee for the first clean as well to try and prevent that. The next metric kind of follows on from LTV, and that is churn. And the churn rate is the percentage of customers that you're going to be losing each month just from typical kind of people dropping off, whether that might be like complaints or people moving houses, or their cousin setting up a window cleaning business, or one of their family members. And we're quite fortunate within the window cleaning industry that our churn rate is really, really low compared to most kind of software-based businesses. The main reason being, I think, because obviously, it's cleaning, windows are always going to get dirty, they're always going to need cleaning. You can obviously lower churn rate by offering a really good quality service, speaking with the customer, great customer services as well, and really creating a really, really positive customer experience. Typically, if your churn rate's high, you might be looking at 5%, and if your churn rate's low, you might be looking at kind of 0.5 to 1% per month. The next metric also ties into LTV quite nicely, and that is average order value. Now this is the average amount of money that the customer spends with you every time they're making a transaction. Obviously, the higher the better. You might find if you get the customer through like a Google ad where they're actively searching for a window cleaner, they might have a higher intent, they might have a higher average order value as well, they might have a bigger house, they might care for it more, and your average order value across running a Google PPC campaign might be £25 to £30. Or if you're running a Facebook campaign, your average order value might be more in the region of £20. Obviously, the higher the better. You want to be getting as much money from that customer as frequently as possible, while also providing really good value and a really good customer experience. Now, the final thing that we track, and this is probably more to the people that have like employees or higher overheads, is the months it takes to get the money back from that specific customer. What you need to do is you need to obviously calculate the average order value, how much money that customer is going to be spending every single month, and then also figure out your gross profit for delivering that service. And obviously the objective of that is to get the months to break even as low as possible. If you can break even after servicing that customer for 1 month, that is like the most perfect scenario. As you grow the business and your overheads increase, you might be looking at 2 to 3 to 4 months in order to obviously break even for that customer. So that's the main metrics that we kind of track. Obviously, you want the customer acquisition cost, CAC, to be as low as possible. You want LTV to be as high as possible. You want churn to be as low as possible. Average order value to be as high as possible. And then finally, months to break even from acquiring that customer to be as low as possible as well. Now, we're quite fortunate with it. Within the window cleaning industry, it's recurring work. We can kind of forecast it. We know what's going to be on our round the following month, and we can kind of predict that and kind of scale that moving forward. And then as you grow and as you can kind of allocate more resources to budgeting and marketing and spend, then approximately how much it's going to cost you to get that specific customer, how much you're going to make off that customer, and how long that customer is going to be around for. And it really gives you clear KPIs and a clear idea on if the money you're spending on marketing is viable. Obviously, a big part of it is testing and figuring out what works as well. You might need to deliver 10,000 leaflets in order to figure out how much it costs you to get a customer through leaflet distribution. If you were to deliver like 200 or 300, then obviously that's not going to really give you a very accurate measurement. Same with Facebook ads, same with Google, same with TikTok, same with other marketing strategies. You do have to test them and you do have to spend money, and it is a case of, for us anyway, finding what is the best balance of customer acquisition cost, LTV, churn, average order value, and then kind of focusing our efforts and our resources on those strategies, which are going to return a long-term better ROI for our business as well. Another strategy that works quite nicely alongside obviously paid customer acquisition is to, when you actually do service those customers, to then speak to that specific customer and see if they've got any neighbours in the same street that might be interested in getting the service. Because if you're paying £20 for that to get that customer, and then if you can get one referral off that, then obviously your net customer acquisition cost halves, because effectively you've got 2 customers for spending that £20 on marketing. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good idea on the metrics and the variables and the things you need to track when doing your marketing to get the most amount of customers for the least amount of money, and obviously getting your money back from that customer acquisition as quick as possible. As I say, there's no one strategy that works everywhere. You know, we've got locations 700 miles apart from each other, and there's variations across what works here, what works there, average order value, customer attitude as well. And what's really, really important is to track these metrics, refine your strategy and learn as you go. And also, you know, allocate some resources for obviously testing, trying new creatives across platforms, website, other optimization as well. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, drop us a follow on Instagram. And yeah, we're going to be producing more content along the way. And if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments. And yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, everyone, thank you very much.